Hi students, welcome to this online class. Today we are going to see about class 7 science chapter 6. The name of the lesson is physical changes and chemical changes. Let us start with physical changes. Physical change is a change which occurs when there is an alteration in the physical properties of a substance. A small change in the physical properties of a substance is known as physical change. Then what is meant by physical properties? Let's see that. Physical properties of a substance are those characteristics of a substance that describe its physical nature. For example, color, density, shape, size and volume are some physical properties. If there is a small change in these properties, a change in color or change in density, change in shape, change in size is known as physical change. Just like when we born, a small baby will be very small in size, but as we are grown up kids like us will be quite height than the kid. So this is an example for physical change. Now we are changing in size. So it's also an example for physical change. Yes, here is some example for physical properties. How does it appear? How does it looks? Seeing. And how does it hear? How does it make sound? And how does it feel? How does it touch? How does it smell? And how does it measure in size or in the temperature, everything. These are the some examples for physical properties. Here is an example for some physical changes. You could pause the video here and take a screenshot of these two slides. This one and as well as this one. See what are the examples for physical changes? Crushing a can, melting an ice cube, boiling water, mixing sand with water, breaking glass, dissolving sugar in water, shredding of paper, chopping wood, mixing green and red marbles, sublimation of dry ice. These are some examples for physical changes, which means the size or shape or color, anything will be changed. The physical change does not result in the formation of any new substance, but you can alter the shape and size of the existing substance. It's an important point. During this physical change, no new substance will be formed. The original substance may change their size or shape. It does not form as a new substance. The original substance will remain as same, but their size or shape or its color may change. Next, chemical change. A chemical change or chemical reaction is any change in the chemical properties of a substance. In the physical change, we said that a change in the physical property. In the same way, a chemical change is known as change in their chemical property. Whenever a substance undergo a chemical change, a new substance is formed. This is the major difference between physical change and chemical change. During the physical change, no new substance being formed, but in the chemical change, a new substance is formed. The chemical property of a substance are those characteristics of a substance that describe its chemical nature. Here are some examples for chemical properties. How does it toxicity, oxidation states, heat of combustion, chemical stability, flammability, coordination number, reactivity, possible chemical bonds, enthalpy of formation. These all things you will study in the upper classes. But basically you have to know the chemical properties means their atomic structure. In the previous classes in 6 and 5, we have discussed about the atoms and molecules. Atom is the basic substance of all matters and the atomic structure are known as chemical properties. Okay, when there is a small change in the atomic structure also, it is known as chemical change. Examples of chemical change. Rusting of iron occurs when iron gets in contact with moisture. The rusting of iron. Iron is different from rusted iron. So these two are two different things. When a magnesium ribbon is burnt, it radiates white light and converts into ashes. And formation of medicines, extracting iron from the iron ore, formation of plastics. These are some examples for chemical changes. Here are some more examples. Rusting of iron and burning of wood. Not only the wood, most of the burnings are all chemical changes. Metabolism, which means the digestion of food. And cooking, yes, all the cooking are the chemical changes only. Baking a cake, not only cake, either all snacks item. These are the chemical change. And electroplating, rotting banana. Whenever you cut an apple, whatever the fruit, if we cut and keep it somewhere, means a brown layer will form on the fruit. The formation of a brownish layer is known as chemical change because the fruit reacts with the air and it forms some new substances. That is why it forms as a brown in color. Vinegar and baking soda mixture, fireworks and chemical battery. These are some examples for chemical changes. A chemical change is always accompanied by any one or all of the following. These are some signs. The signature of chemical change. It shows that a chemical change has occurred. First, radiation, absorption of heat, production of sound, change in the color of the substance, change in the smell of the substance, and formation of gas. If any of the following or all the following occurs, means it shows that a chemical change takes place. Absorption of heat, burning of a substance such as coal, wood or candle results in production of heat and hence it is a chemical change. Similarly, melting of ice results in absorption of heat and therefore it is a chemical change. Next, production of sound. Yes, as we know that fireworks, busting of fireworks is a chemical change. It results in a production of sound, heat, radiation as well as gas. It does all these things, that's why it is known as chemical change. Change in the color, as we discussed earlier, the brownish layer on the fruit. The raw fruits and vegetables, when cut and left in open air, it start acquiring a brown color. It's all due to a chemical change. And similarly, rusting of iron does also result in change in color. And formation of gas. When antacids are mixed in water, bubbles are formed, indicating that production of a gas, and therefore it is a chemical change. A reaction between vinegar and baking soda. It's an example for a chemical change and as well as it's a neutralization process. The neutralization process we have studied in the previous lesson. Take vinegar, which means an acetic acid, in a glass beaker and add a pinch of baking soda. We will observe gas bubbles coming out of the beaker. If bubbles form, means it shows that there is a production of gas. If the production of gas occurs, means this is the denotation of the chemical change. This is due to the release of carbon dioxide. This can be confirmed by making the gas produced pass through freshly prepared lime water. The lime water turns milky when carbon dioxide is passed through it due to the formation of calcium carbonate. See, first, when the vinegar and the baking soda get mixed, it forms as carbon dioxide gas, and this carbon dioxide reacts with the lime water and it forms as calcium carbonate. Due to the production of calcium carbonate, the lime water turns into a milky. Here is some pictorial image for the reaction. On the left side in the blue color, it's mentioned as vinegar and baking soda, and on the right side there's a lime water. When the carbon dioxide passes to the lime water, it turns into milky one. Here is the chemical equation for the reaction. You could pause the video and take a screenshot of this one, that you have to aware of this. Next, change in smell of the substance. When food gets spoiled, it produces foul smell. This is because of a chemical change in food. Rotten eggs often produce a bad odor due to the production of sulfur. Rusting of iron, it's also a chemical change. When the iron comes in contact with oxygen and water, it reacts and forms a red colored substance over it. It is called rust. So here is the chemical equation for this process. Fe means iron and O2 is oxygen, H2O means water. The moisture means it's a mixture of air and water. And here's the chemical equation for rusting. Fe2O3 dot H2O. Actually Fe2O3 means ferrous oxide. The iron oxide is then rust. How to prevent rusting? In everyday we use various metal objects, and in our home also we have a variety of iron objects, and everything mostly get rusted. How to prevent it? How we can prevent the iron objects from rusting? There are some ways for it. By applying paint on iron objects so that they cannot come in contact with oxygen and moisture in the environment. This is a simple way. By applying paint. By applying paint can be helpful for a object that is small in size. But just think, if we have a ship that we used to sail on the ocean, is it possible to apply the paint for all over the ship? Even the ships are used in the ocean, it get rust often. It get rust more faster than the iron object which is placed in land. So it's not possible for applying paint over the boat often. So there is some other ways for it. Galvanization. A more efficient method is to coat the iron with another metal such as zinc or chromium. The process of depositing a layer of zinc on iron is called galvanization. The iron pipes we use in our home to carry water are galvanized to prevent rusting. This one we say as the stainless steel. This one we used to say stainless steel, which means it doesn't rust at any cost. Why? It is also a metal object, but it is not rusting means we coat another metal on the iron, zinc and chromium. When the iron get contact with the air, it becomes rust. While coating another layer, another metal on the iron pipes means the iron cannot come in contact with the moisture, so the rusting can be prevented. This process is known as galvanization. Next, crystallization. And crystallization process doesn't prevent rusting. It is another method to obtain a purest form of crystals. And this crystallization process doesn't prevent rusting. It is a process of obtaining crystals of a pure substance from its solution. For example, we can obtain the crystals of copper sulfate by boiling the copper sulfate solution. Is to obtain the copper sulfate crystals, we need to take copper sulfate solution and we have to make it heat. What you have learned in this lesson? Let's recall. First we have started with the physical change. A alteration in the physical properties are known as physical change, and the physical properties means the outer look. How does it look? Its size, shape and color, all these things known as physical properties, and a change in the physical properties is known as physical change. And next we have seen about the chemical properties. the internal properties like its atomic structure are known as chemical properties, and as well as a change in the chemical properties are known as chemical changes. And next, rusting of iron. And before this rusting of iron, we have seen the different signs of chemical change: the production of gas, production of smell, absorption of heat and radiation of heat. All these things are the different signs of a chemical change. And next, we have seen about the reaction between vinegar and baking soda. After that, we have seen about the rusting of iron. When the iron come in contact with the air and moisture, a new substance, iron oxide, being formed, and this is known as rust. And this rusting can be prevented by two different ways. First one is painting on iron objects, and next, galvanization. Galvanization means coating a layer of another metal on the iron. And last, we have seen about the crystallization. The word crystallization means obtaining a purest form of crystal